Good afternoon. It is time to get started. I'm DanBearPig82, and this is Saturday in Space. We're playing Kerbal Space Program, the classic Kerbal Space Program, not Kerbal Space Program 2. Though depending on how much time we have, maybe we'll hop over. It's been there have been 2 patches to that game since we last played it, so it would be interesting to try that out. But for now, we are heavily invested in this ship right here and working towards our end game. And we weren't here the last week because I was on vacation, but the week before we had a stream, and it was very productive, but there were a couple of notable derps, one of which involved over here decoupling the wrong or undocking the wrong docking port. And instead of undocking just our drilling ship, we undocked the entire refinery module, and the radiators clipped right into the solar panels and such that were here. It's hard to see because of the sun right there. Maybe we should time warp a little bit, but that's okay. Yeah, it was rough. We had a big old confetti show, and we had to do some repairs, which each of these takes, I think it was 4 repair kits to fix. So yeah, we went through a lot of repair kits and didn't have enough for the solar panels here. So the refinery capabilities of this thing are greatly reduced. Not, ended. It's fine. It can still do its job, but much, much slower. And as you can see, we've got a whole lot more refining of fuel to do. So what we need to do, one of them was completely destroyed, one of these 4 radiators, so we weren't able to repair it with an engineer. We're going to have to replace it. So fingers crossed EVA construction doesn't trigger the Kraken and blow this whole thing up. If it does, we're going to be abusing quick saves for this, because we've dealt with that before and had some fun with the lore of this playthrough, but we're done with that. Derps we accept, Krakens no more. So yeah, we also, let's look at our alarms coming up. We are 12 days away from the Duna Probe 4 arriving at Duna and our next landing attempt on Duna. We have had one successful landing on Duna, which we then tried to move to a different site to get more science, which was well beyond the parameters of that mission, and it failed to complete that. But it completely succeeded at its actual mission, which was simply to land on Duna and return science. So that was great. We also have a Dres launch window coming up in about 60 days, which we may skip, depending on what we're up to. And then we have in 76 days, we are encountering Elu, and then after that, we're encountering Moho. So we do have some encounters coming up, but most notably this one, which we'll be doing today. So we need to do our next launch. And I've been designing something. Let's first take this, and of course it's completely dark now. That's how we do here. But let's take this, undock it properly here, like so. And let's land this so that it can start working on the next load of ores to be refined. So there we go, we are pushing off. And of course we are using MechJeb for this. So let's go, we need landing guidance. We won't need the ascent guidance yet. In fact, all we need is the landing guidance for now. And then we also need to open up our scan set, the ore overlay. Let's draw the overlay. And then let's pick a target on the map. And we like to land here on these flats because it's a very safe place for landing, and there is a decent concentration of ore here. Not that anywhere on Minmus really is rich in ore, but it has ore, so that's enough. Okay, right here is pretty close to the equator, so let's pick that as our landing target. Our solar panels are out. And yeah, we should be good to go. Let's point retrograde. just to make sure that we are not going to be crashing into this thing when we do our burn, and no, it looks like we'll be okay. So let's do this. Land at target. And we've got the reaction control system animation stuck on because we're in time warp, and that's a long-standing known bug in Kerbal Space Program. There's a good view for stream. And we can look here and we will see our landing target marked there. And MechJeb's going to begin our deorbit burn. There it is. And there's our landing prediction. All right. Very gentle correction happening here. And I don't think it's rendering it properly, but this is bringing our landing prediction and our landing target into alignment. Yeah, look at that. That's interesting. It's rendering behind that window, but that's but that's it. And I think it's because that window is overriding the ore overlay. I don't think it's rendering that on top of the ore overlay, which is interesting. Yeah, it's predicting that we will be within 10 meters, about 15 meters of our target. And of course, it's still doing this where it turns off the RCS randomly, which is very strange. We're just going to have to keep an eye on that so that it can maintain attitude control. All right, back into some time warp. I just love the look of this thing with all the radiators and solar panels sticking out everywhere. And I believe this right out here is our landing target. Descending over these plateaus and highlands on Midmas. Always a good view. I keep turning the UI back on to make sure that it still has the RCS thrusters enabled, since the reaction wheels are not sufficient for maintaining attitude. And yeah, it just turned them off. Oh, got to mute the baby monitor. Let me do that. My wife is on baby duty, of course. There it is, the flats of Midmas, which, according to original Kerbal Space Program lore, are probably mint ice cream, or at least thought to be by the Kerbals. Though, the speculation in Kerbal Space Program 2 is that it has to be glass. There's no way that this formed with frozen ice, so maybe it's glass. Maybe it's mint-flavored glass. Does anyone really know? We're slowing down. Just gonna make sure it doesn't again turn off the our RCS. Should be good here. Yeah, this is our final descent. Landing burn is initiated. And touchdown. Another perfect, gentle landing from MechJeb. Didn't even have a flip. Nice. So now we got to extend the drills. And begin drilling for ores. Alright, so that is that. Now let's go to our Space Center, and this will be drilling in the background while we do other operations. Yeah, Space Center. And let's take a look at our mission to finish repairs on our ship. We will also want to have an engineer aboard to increase the efficiency of the refinery. With more refinery efficiency, we can probably get away with having another driller, which will be very useful because this is going to take a while fueling this thing up. So yeah, let's go into the vehicle assembly building, and I did some designing actually earlier today before stream. And let's take a look at that. Let's see, interplanetary, okay, yeah, IPS repair mission, here it is. So, we only need one of these radiators, but they weigh 1 ton, so for purposes of balance, rather than find something else that weighs a ton and put it over here, I just use the symmetry mode, so we can have 2 of these. And we can discard one if we don't need it later, or it can be up there as a spare part, because, you know, we've already have needed one of these. So why not, right? This should be sufficient for communications. Yeah, we're taking up a bunch more RCS fuel, and yeah, we are going to replace the communications dish and RCS module on the RCS fuel monopropellant module on the front of the ship with this, and we're going to have a crew of up to 3 on the ship for now, and this is going to be a temporary habitation module for the ship because we haven't designed or built the actual habitation module yet. So let's choose a crew first off, and Elilong really wants to go, but sorry, this is not your mission. Let's send some viewer redeemed Kerbals. Let's send some new ones. Let's send Buckaroo Kerman, and let's send Giga Kerman. So we've got a pilot and we've got an engineer, and they can keep each other company. That'll be fine. So those 2 are going to go and be in charge of the ship. They're going to be running it. Buckaroo is the captain and Giga Kerman is the engineer. So let's now put this thing on top of a launcher. We can do, under subassemblies, look for the Arcus 2, our expendable medium launch vehicle. But that's really tight. So what we should do is give it some more space. Let's go to structural. Let's do structural tubes. I believe this is 2.5 meter. Yep. And let's do medium short should be enough, I think. We can always make it longer if we need to. That camera is now clipped right into there, so let's move it. Right there. And then this can go here. And our decouplers on top, okay, good. And we need to rebuild this fairing, so let's delete and build. Boom, 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 boom. Why won't you? Why won't that work? Does it? Oh, it's clipping the camera. Okay, so let's take that off for now. We'll put it back. But yeah, it's clipping that camera and it won't let me build the fairing. Okay, there we go. That is fine. We can work with it. Why do you want to go inwards like that? I don't want you to go inwards like that. I want you to go straight up. That's interesting. Okay, that works though. All right, it's a big fairing, but we've launched worse on this launcher. In fact, okay, we do have a decent amount of Delta V, but I think we're gonna want more. Actually, let's stretch the upper stage. And our 2.5 meter tanks, I believe that's these down here. Yes. Okay. Alright, that's better. We're probably going to want to put some boosters on here, though. Let's also stretch this stage by a little bit less. There we go. And boosters. Let's do decouplers like this. I'm gonna put one on, and then we'll do the symmetry. And then we want some solid boosters on the side. Thumpers will probably do. We have a decent amount of thrust to weight ratio off the pad, but we want a little bit more. I think I want them to burn longer than that though, so let's do the kickbacks, and let's, instead of 4 thumpers, let's do 2 kickbacks. Those have 670 kilonewtons, 300. Okay, yeah, that is good, and they'll burn for I think about twice as long, so that will be perfect for our purposes. And now I'm gonna have to move that camera. It is in the way. Actually, I don't like where I placed those. Let's do that. Auto strut, let's do grandparent part. And then we want aerodynamic modules. Let's put that's the right size nose cone, just like so. And then this can go on like this. All right, perfect. I like that. Now, the camera. Not strictly necessary, but I like it, so that's why we're gonna do it. No other reason. All right, let's just put it here, and then use the translate tool to get it where we want it. All right, that will do. So now we have, we want to put those in the right stage. Okay, that's the right stage. Yeah, 1.73 is a decent thrust to weight ratio. I always want to have at least 1.5 off the pad. 1.8 is typically my target. We'll get up to 3 as the solid boosters burn out. Then we'll be back down to 1.68 and go up to 2.35. That's actually a pretty good flight profile there, and we've got 5.1 kilometers per second of delta V, and then this top module can perform all of its maneuvers with this monopropellant. So we actually have quite a bit more than that, but it's with some very inefficient engines on the top. So this will get us to where we're trying to go. Save, and let's take this out to the launch pad. And depending on how long it takes us to get to Minimus, we'll probably be getting there before our Duna arrival, but we will definitely be doing our Duna arrival before we do any other launches. I can see the UI. There we go. All right, yeah, we've got Buckaroo and Giga. All right, Buckaroo, we're going to give you our flight plan via MechJeb. Your job is just to monitor it. So let's do ascent guidance. Let's choose the interplanetary propulsion module as our target. And we want to get to a 150 kilometer orbit to start. Now let's aim for a 200 kilometer orbit. And I think this is all going to be pretty good. And yeah, we just need to do our launch. So engage autopilot. And okay, we got precision control on. Let's also do our graphs. We haven't done the graphs in a while. So we want flight recorder, altitude, acceleration, and dynamic pressure. Okay, that's the camera inside the fairing, and that is the camera down the side of the rocket. Let's, however, let's use our camera tools to watch this launch. Target self, and let's set our position. What if we watch from the runway? That's safe, right? That's not too close to cause harm if we're, you know, standing there watching a rocket launch. Probably. Okay, good. I didn't do anything clicked through. All right, I think we're good to go. Yeah, that's a cool view. That's a really cool view, in fact. I'm going to take a screenshot. I don't think I've ever actually watched a launch from this view, so that's exciting. All right, we are go for launch in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lift off of the Arcus 2 medium launch vehicle carrying a repair mission to our interplanetary propulsion module. Everything is looking nominal. Vehicle is pitching downrange. Now, we don't actually have a crew safe abort mode for this thing, so good luck, Buckaroo and Giga. Vehicle is supersonic. And we have maximum aerodynamic pressure. Coming up on solid booster burnout. SRB burnout and a clean separation. And everything is looking nominal. Next up, we will have main engine cutoff. These guys don't have much of a view because there's a fairing in the way. We have MECO and stage separation and a second engine start. Fairing separation is confirmed. Now they've got a view. All right, we don't need that anymore. And our solar panels have been deployed automatically by MechJeb. Thank you, MechJeb. Got them in Starliner configuration here. Oh, I should note also that we have a cargo unit full of repair kits, you know, just in case. I think we're gonna end up with some more space junk around Minimus though, because the unit we're going to be replacing with this does not exactly have the capability of deorbiting itself. And the docking port is the wrong size to be compatible with the space forklift that is on board. Alright, let's see if it can manage this attitude adjustment without the use of the reaction control thrusters. And it looks like it can. We've got sufficient reaction wheels. Okay, cool. We're coasting to circularization now. Alright, coming up on our circularization burn. Ignition. We have an orbit. And we have a nominal orbit. Good job, MechJeb. You did a good. Alright, let's turn on our stability assist. And let's choose... Actually, we should choose Minimus as our target before we choose the station. Why can I not select you, Minimus? Alright, let's do it this way. There we go, set as target. Now we do want MechJeb's maneuver planner, so let's do bi-impulsive transfer to target. Create the node, and that's coming up in 1 hour. We will burn 1 kilometer per second of our delta V, and we'll get a moon encounter there too. Yeah, it looks like the moon's gonna mess with us, in fact, so let's do some adjustments. So I don't want the moon to mess with us. That's actually making things worse. Okay. So is that, incredibly. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, we're going to do that, and then after our moon encounter, we're going to fine-tune our closest approach. So let's do this and execute next node. This will use up 2/3 of our remaining delta V. Alright, we're moving to point at the maneuver marker on the nav ball, although I'm sure that MechJeb will decide to come out of time warp to adjust that as it slips. Alright, time warp. There's sunrise. That was actually kind of a cool shot right there. A cool angle for that. We've got one more orbit to complete. Half of one at least. Yeah, I like that camera angle. And that was purely coincidence. Alright, ignition. And this is a 1 in 15 seconds burn, so we got just a little bit to wait through here. So lucky Buckaroo and Giga getting a flyby of the moon on their way to Minmus. "15 seconds remaining in the burn. There's our moon encounter. And there is the maneuver complete. Okay, and as noted, we don't have exactly a perfect Rendezvous, so let's do now fine-tune closest approach at target. That's going to do one instantly, isn't it? Yeah, it's not doing very well because of the presence of the moon, so let's go ahead and do some time warping. And let's do our flyby of the moon. Hello, moon. You're in our way, moon. They're not getting particularly close, but they do have a good view from way up here. Alright, leaving the moon's sphere of influence. Alright, now let's try this. That is a whole lot better, and it's not a bad maneuver either. Okay, and that's coming up in 1 day, so let's execute the next node. Okay, yep, that'll be a good orbit right there. All right, execute next node. We're turning this ship around. Don't make me land back on Kerbal. And actually, the likelihood of Buckaroo and Giga ever setting foot on Kerbal again is incredibly slim, because the end goal is to take everybody to this ship and then do a grand tour of the solar system and then perhaps leave it. So there's no reason for them to come home. They can just stay there when the actual proper module for living quarters, etc. The habitation module is launched and brought to be attached to the ship. They can just, move in. All right, there we go. We have a good rendezvous with Minmus. So let's time warp and hope that time warp doesn't take away that rendezvous. And we're going to get there in 7 days. So yeah, we're going to be arriving just a couple of days before our Duna probe arrives at Duna. And we should probably be launching the drilling ship. It's probably full right now. In fact, let's do that. We have a minimus encounter in 3 days and 5 hours. Let's move over here, and let's take a look at our driller, the Mosquito 3.0. Switch 2. And let's be good mission planners and manage multiple missions at once. Okay, how is this looking? Yep, we are full up on ore, so we can stop the drills. Retract the drills, and it is nighttime, but that's fine. Let's see, the propulsion module is our target, and we want to launch, so we need the ascent guidance back. And yeah, 56-kilometer orbit is our destination, so let's go ahead and launch to your Enhancements. Oh, and engage autopilot. There we go. It's like, why isn't it doing the auto time warp? There we go. And this never really does get us a very good Rendezvous, but that's okay. It'll get us to the right orbit, and then we can make an adjustment. And ignition and liftoff. There's our target right there. And Kerbal, tiny in the sky. Alright, coasting to circularization. It's really working hard to get that angle perfect. There it is. Oh, MechJeb, you perfectionist. All right, initiating our circularization burn. We have an orbit. And it is nominal. All right. Now, where are we relative to that station, or that ship rather? All right, we are behind it. So let's do this. Let's point retrograde. I said point retrograde. If we do the fine-tune approach with such similar orbits, MechJeb will assume, okay, the most efficient one is coming up in like 2 years, so let's do that. But no, we don't want to wait that long. We can do this now. We have over a kilometer per second of delta V. We can do it, and that is again not counting even our monopropellant. Raider, you are first. Welcome. How are you doing, Raider? Good to see you. All right, let's time warp. I am doing great. It is great to be back in space. All right, let's drop our orbit and close this gap. As long as we don't drop it to where we'll have a collision, we'll be fine. There we go, and let's use the maneuvering thrusters to fine-tune this even further. That's about as good as we're going to get. 262 meters, that is pretty good. What's the plan for today? We're well underway for the plan. Besides continuing to refuel the interplanetary propulsion module, we have launched a repair mission. So we're sending a couple of large radiators because we need to replace one, and we are also sending a bunch of repair kits, hopefully for use in repairing the solar panels if necessary, although those we might actually ditch. We're sending our repair crew in a temporary habitation module with some extra cargo, so that'll be fun. And while it's on its way, there it is right there, we are working on the refueling. So now what we can do is match velocities. Yeah, we don't have a collision, that's good. Match velocities with target at the closest approach. Excellent, and execute next node. That's coming up in 1 hour and 19 minutes. And we'll let MechJeb do it. We're sending our 2 newest crew members up, ones that we rescued in the last stream 2 weeks ago. We're sending Giga Kerman as the engineer and Buckaroo Kerman as the captain, the pilot. All right, we are pointing towards our maneuver marker. And there is our target right there. And we don't have such a reckless close approach this time that we are not likely to get a collision like we did last time. That was problematical. Oh, I should also mention, Raider, we are next after this going to be arriving at Duna and hopefully landing again on Duna, if all goes well. And that's coming up in 6 days. And in about 2.5 days, our crew will be arriving here, our first crew. All right, there it is. We are here. So now let's control from here, activate the camera. Of course, I turned in the opposite direction that I should have, but that's all right. We'll continue all the way around. And there it is. And there's our target docking port right there. Just gotta get lined up for our final approach. You know the drill, we've been through this quite a few times. But this is always full concentration mode. Raider redeeming random cat, and I see a Crookshanks on my screen. Hello, Crookshanks. Oh, and a Boozinate. Nice. Thanks, Raider. I was getting worried that I wouldn't even get to Boozinate today. It's completely up to you guys. I have no free will of my own whether or not I Boozinate. So while we're on our final approach, let's go ahead and do it. I've got a new one today that I have never tried. We went on our vacation to California, and there are things we can pick up there that we cannot pick up here in Utah. So I've got this one that is called let's put this right there, Double Actuator, Double IPA. And it is an 8.5%. It was, I've never had it before. It was recommended by one of the people working there. Look at this. It's got, like, a lady with a robot arm. Working on that robot arm. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and correct our course here. And yeah, this is multitasking at its most intense. And it's fizzing up. That's one of the risks of importing from California. The altitude change and all the temperature changes. I do have a lot more that fizz up if I bring them from California. That actually was not too bad. So let's do this. Lick off my fingers. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Look at my perfect approach. All right, and I think it has stopped fizzing. Okay, we're good. We're good. Not even a spill because I am a pro. So here we go. Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I've had some others that have fizzed way more than that, especially right after getting home from California. That's pretty good. It's very hoppy, which I like. All right, thank you, Raider. Ah, I can't even speak. There we go. But look at that. What a pro I am. I'm such a pro. Let's move our fuel around. The ore specifically, we need to move it out of these large holding tanks and into those ones where they are currently being processed into liquid fuel and oxygen. So these are going to be filling up further. And we should also, as soon as that finishes, there we go. We should also transfer fuel back into this so that it is fueled up for the next mission. These ones right here. All right, in. And that looks good. In. Excellent. Let's see, what about the monopropellant? It is these ones, I believe. Yes, these ones. Okay, so yeah, we used up 40% of our monopropellant on that maneuver. Let's replenish that as well. All right, we are good to go. And this now needs to go back and land. So let's go ahead and undock. Doing this docking port this time. Doing this one is what caused the issues last time. We had clipping and a big ol' confetti shower, so that was no good. All right, undock. Push off. Just double checking that it really is empty, and yes it is. So now we need MechJeb's landing guidance. Pick a target on the map. Let's turn on the ore overlay again. There we go. And once again, let's land on the greater flats. We haven't drilled them dry yet. Right there, and land at target. How far are we gonna go? For auto land and come out of time warp because I'm concerned I don't want to miss the arrival of our crew. Okay, we're good. We've still got time. But it was not giving me any indication that it was actually going to land there. All right, land at target. Moving to high deorbit burn point. Okay, where is that though? I would like to know. Okay, we're getting there, I think. Yeah, here we are. All right, good. I was starting to get a little bit worried about you, MechJeb. Every once in a while you do some questionable things, but I think we're going to be okay here. As long as I keep an eye on MechJeb, constantly wanting to turn off the reaction control system for no discernible reason. Only with this ship, and only on these maneuvers. All right, there it is. Our landing prediction is in alignment with our landing target, with a tolerance of about 20 meters. Yep, it turned off the reaction control system. Why, MechJeb? Why? Why you do this to me? I should time how long it takes to completely fill the tanks so that I can set accurate alarms for it and do more effective multitasking. Because sadly, I cannot set an alarm for when resources hit a certain point. I wonder if there's a mod for that, maybe the Kerbal alarm clock mod, because we're using the stock alarm clock system, which does a pretty good job, but it doesn't have every option that I would like. But I don't know if Kerbal alarm clock has that either. Worth an investigation at least. Because if it could alert me when the ore tanks are full and the drilling is done, that would be super handy. I think missions like this are one of the ones that they're talking about automating in Kerbal Space Program 2. If you set up a supply run that is a routine, then you can have it automated in the background, just simulating like it's being run constantly, which would be very, very cool, very handy. Even cooler if you could watch the ships go, but probably not. I'd be surprised if that were the case. Pleasantly so. Yep, it turned off the reaction control system again for no reason, so I turned it back on. It's the only intervention I'm doing right now. And we are doing our deceleration burn. There go the landing gear. Pete Bankman, welcome. First but not really. So Pete, have you been playing the new patch for Kerbal Space Program 2? Because I have not played since the launch, and I've been considering doing it, but I've also wanted to make progress on this playthrough here. But I'm very interested for some first-hand account of the new patch. Not yet? Gotcha. Because I've heard some good things on Twitter and Reddit about it. I haven't watched any videos on it yet, though. Been crazy busy? I understand. I'm pretty sure we just got back from our vacation yesterday, not a week ago. It doesn't feel like it was a week ago. And we're on final descent. Starting our landing burn. Is that the Minmus barnacle? What, that over there? I don't think so. And another gentle landing. All right, perfect. Let's extend the drills. And get drilling. And Raider has redeemed a stretch. All right, let's do a stretch. All right, here we go. I need a good stretch to reset my spine. Here we go. Thank you, Raider. My feet are on the floor, hands are on the ceiling, moon's behind me, got my Mystery Science Theater 3000 shirt on. It's a good day. Thank you. More of a sea cucumber. There you go. That is an Easter egg, though, isn't it? A barnacle on Minmus? Or are you thinking of this? There's something on Minmus, I think. There's a Kerbal in the background right there. All right. Well, that drills away. Let's go and visit our crew en route. That pronunciation should bother Raider, I'm hoping. En route. You are describing my ship. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty good name. It's the mosquito, though, because, you know, it pierces the skin of Minmus and draws out the resources within. All right, do we still have an encounter? We do. Excellent. And it's 3 days away still, so let's time warp. You didn't hear what I said? I said the crew is en route. With my flawless French pronunciation. There it is. Pete says, I see. Naming it after its function, not its appearance. You don't know what a space mosquito looks like, Pete Venkman. That could be exactly what a space mosquito looks like. You don't know. Alright, now we should choose this as our target. And our inclination is not actually that bad. So let's point retrograde. We're gonna, yeah, we don't actually need the RCS thrusters for that. We have enough reaction wheel on this. And we are 2.5 hours from periapsis. Let's time warp there and do our capture burn. We're coming up on our Duna arrival in 3 days. I'm not sure if that alarm is 1 day or 1 hour early. It doesn't particularly matter. Ten minutes away from periapsis. All right, here we are. Let's get our capture. And there it is. Okay, we're 4 days away from our apoapsis. Okay, but we're only, how long till descending node? 4 hours. So yeah, let's use MechJeb to correct our inclination. Yeah, maneuver planner. Match planes with target at the cheapest ascending or descending node. That would be the descending node because we'll be going slower there. Yep, there it is. 6.3 meter per second burn. All right, execute next node. P. Bangman says, to be fair, it didn't become a space mosquito until it reached space. It started out on Kerbal. Kerbal's in space. Also, you know, maybe I did design it to look precisely like a space mosquito. Like I said, you don't know what a space mosquito looks like, so stop acting like you do. I saw one this big once. All right, just a quick little tap on the engines to correct our inclination. And there it is. So now let's see what happens if we do an immediate fine-tune closest approach. Yeah, we can do that. Actually, it's not going to be immediate. It's going to do it at our apoapsis. Let's see, we're 1 day away from this, so let's go ahead and set an alarm for this maneuver. And we'll come back to this. So we need a maneuver alarm. And let's see, it's the IPS rescue, or repair rather. We're not rescuing it, repair it. And we want an hour of advance notice. So there we go, add the alarm. And let's go to our Duna Probe 4 and see if we can successfully land on Duna for the second time. EVA says, do Kerbals know what a space mosquito looks like? When did they encounter one to fashion crafts after its appearance? I mean, it's a creature of lore, obviously. It's in the Kerbals and Kraken's Monsters book. Probably. I don't know. Okay, yeah, actually, we have more time than I thought. So, yep, I put it 1 day in advance. So that is 3 days away. We're timing this really tight. You need that book? I know, right? It's pretty great. That would be a good one to have. Okay, so... Are these really going to happen at exactly the same time? No, the other one is going to happen slightly earlier, 2 hours before this. So let's go and get our Duna encounter at least. And then we're going to be swapping back and forth and managing these two missions side by side. Gonna be a little bit tricky, but I think we can do it. Here comes Duna. We're tumbling through space. Okay, Duna is... We're coming up on the night side. Wonder if we can watch Duna eclipse the sun a little bit, or occlude the sun rather. Yeah, there's Duna right there. Actually, that's awesome. Look at that. Okay, yep, delete and close the alarm. That's awesome. Let's get a screenshot. Let's do this. Okay. Alright, that's unexpectedly cool. Alright, let's go back to map view. 4 hours, 49 minutes to our encounter with Duna. "24 minutes. And we are now in Duna's sphere of influence. And yeah, Periapsis is coming up in 5 hours and 43 minutes, whereas this is in 2 hours. So what we need is another alarm. Yeah, let's create an alarm. And we want, okay, this is in the way, of course. There we go, that gets that out of the way. We want it at Periapsis, and we want a 1 hour advance notice. We don't want to miss it. And Duna Periapsis. Add the alarm. Okay, let's switch back to our crew headed towards the interplanetary propulsion module. Here we are. Yeah, node in 3 hours. We can actually delete the alarm now. Yeah, 2 hours apart, which will be 1 hour apart because we gave ourselves 1 hour of lead time here. All right, let's close that. Yeah, we're going only 14.5 meters per second orbital velocity, and that's why our plane change, or our maneuver, is so cheap, because we're going so slow. All right, let's just use execute next node and let MechJeb take care of the time warping. I don't have to worry about it. Why am I worrying about it? Okay, we're pointed in the right direction. Time warp. And another light tap on the engines. Okay, so what is our closest approach looking like? This is telling us 1.7 kilometers, and it looks like that is indeed accurate. Cool. So that's going to be in 4 more days. All right. So let's create another alarm, and it's going to be a manual alarm. And it's going to be in 3 days. Yep, that is correct. Very good. And it is, let's link to this vessel. IPS repair approach. There we go. Add the alarm. And now, back to our other ship, back to our Duna mission. Rilo, how are you doing? Saying hello, spaceman. And Burke saying I'm just lurking over here while I figure out dinner. Well, one option is maybe cooked pork chop, or perhaps mutton, or I guess Satan gave us a bunch of those honey apples. So those are options. Oh, you're not in Vault Hunters. Okay, you mean real life. But real life Boozinate from Burke and Hydrate. All right, here we go. This is for Burke. Thank you, Burke. Delicious. New IPA I'm trying. And oh, we have a hydrate too. Let's do that. Keep Hangover Dan at bay. Bison burgers, that's a good choice. One of the best burgers I've ever had was llama, actually. Elk is another good choice for burgers. But okay, so let's see. We are 2.5 hours away from periapsis. So what we can do is actually delete this alarm. We don't need it anymore. And yeah, we have a lot of speed to bleed off. But let's actually plan the maneuver, see when we need to come out of time warp. Basically see how long it's going to take us to get our capture. It's going to take 6.5 minutes. Alright, so... You know, I've got this maneuver. I can let MechJeb do it. Let's do that. How about that? Because I had an elk steak at a restaurant a couple decades ago. It was delicious. Very nice. Yeah, elk is a pretty decently tender meat for how lean it is. So is llama. A lot of those leaner meats are tougher, but those were quite good. Alright, let's speed this up a little bit because it's using the reaction control, or the reaction wheels, to very slowly orient in retrograde mode. Dang it, now I want burgers. I think we're having a taco salad tonight, which basically is going to be fancy nachos. Alright. Coming out of time warp so that, yep, there it is. MechJeb taking over with some proper time warp. There's Duna, there's Ike. And we are beginning our deceleration burn, our braking burn. So let's go into 4 times time warp so that we don't have to actually watch this for 6 minutes. We can watch it in 1.5 minutes. Not that the view isn't good, but that we've got a lot to do. There's Kerbal. Right back there. Looking normal, and we've got lots of Delta V for this, so that's good. And this is, I believe, identical to the one that successfully landed before, so fingers crossed, our chances are pretty decent that we'll get another good landing. Hopefully in a different biome this time. We're gonna have to look up exactly where our other landing was so that we can make sure to be in a different place. I mean, the chances of being in the same place are minuscule, and the chances of being in the same biome are low, but still, we want to make sure we do it right. .300 meters per second to go. 200. 100. All right, let's come out of time warp for the last 10 seconds of the burn. We have our capture. All right, it looks good. There we go. All right, so there's Duna way down there. We're in a very high orbit here. So we need to plan our landing, but first we need to go back to this mission, since we are doing 2 missions simultaneously here, which is a fun challenge. And let's get our crew on board the interplanetary ship, or at least its propulsion module, which is all we've got in orbit so far. And here they are, Buckaroo Kerbal and Giga Kerbal, both rescued on our last stream. All right, and here is, we can actually delete that alarm. There we go. Yeah, we haven't moved much. We're going very slow. We're going 9.7 meters per second orbital velocity. Biveng says, man, you like tempting fate. Using time warp during acceleration, never ever trust the time warp. Oh, I always trust the time warp. When has time warp ever let me down, huh? Yeah, we got a 3.5 day descent here. All right, now we're coming out of time warp because you don't trust the time warp. I never trust the time warp. I've always said so. Okay, and now what we should do, let's bring back the maneuver planner. Let's do another fine tune. Get closer than 1.7 kilometers. And there we go. Yep, we've got a 600 meter approach. I'll take it. So next we need match velocities with target. And this is going to use about 110 meters per second, probably. So let's see. Yep. Actually, it's only going to be 50. Nice. Okay, execute next node. And with a 600 meter margin, we won't have a collision like we did 2 weeks ago. I mean, we didn't. We don't talk about that. Why did you bring it up, Dan? Don't do that. It was perfect. There were no derps on that stream. None. No collision, Beat Vengman. What are you talking about? No. Don't be silly. We would never. I mean, we are sending a repair mission. I mean, it is called IPS repair mission, but that's probably just a coincidence. Did Shipwreck said explode? He missed it. That's the best part. He missed it. Uh-huh. All right. Stability assist, and yeah, this is gonna end up being space junk, unfortunately. Probably should have put. Actually, wait. Does it have a? Oh, it might not be space junk. We might be okay. But yeah, let's go ahead and separate. Oh yeah, we're good. We're not gonna be space junk. Yeah, we'll come back to that. Let's control from here, from the docking port. Actually, we need to do something else first. We can't do that. That would be a terrible, terrible idea if we did that. We would have the same issue that we're trying to repair if I tried to do that. See how these are clipped together? That is what caused the issue last time. When I accidentally undocked this docking port instead of this one, and these became confetti. So what we're going to do is retract the radiators. And now we should be safe. So this comes off. Let's get some distance. There it goes. Oh, you know what I should have done? And I thought about it, but I thought, no, I don't really need to. On this, I should have attached it with another docking port instead of a decoupler. And this decoupler is just fine. It's lighter weight and cheaper than another docking port, which is why we went with it for simply deploying this. But the docking port would have given me the option to go and grab that and deorbit it. But instead, we don't exactly have that option. Unless we use this. Maybe that'll work. Let's try this. Can we spot? Yes. Okay. And actually, we have the wrong thing. This is what we want. Control from here. And let's point it at this. Which we probably cannot do, actually. Yeah, we don't have enough control over this, which is all right. So what we're going to do instead is just control this. All right, activate the camera. This sounds like a construction derb, says Pete Bangman. Wow, that's rude. How dare you? How dare you? Well, unfortunate news for you, good news for me. Shipwreck is over moderating for Supreme Doom, which that takes two of my moderators out of the loop. So who's gonna dirt me now? And Burke's making dinner, so no one can dirt me because they're all not here. And for Crunch Me, yeah, she's taking a nap. Actually, she might have gotten up and grabbed the kiddos because they are waking up. You can update them later. Wow, that's rude. Why would you spread slander or libel? Why would you libelize me, huh? Sounds like something only a rude person would do. All right, let's pick this thing up. We're gonna have to maneuver around to this side of it. We have, it's not gonna calculate our delta V because it's using only the monopropellant, but we have plenty. And that thing actually looks pretty cool, but look at that. All 6 of those solar panels are, you know, get put, as they say. Look at me trusting the time warp so much. You're just trying to maintain an accurate record of my malevolence, huh? My malevolence? Malevolence isn't a derp. I'm not sure that's really the word you're looking for. Alright, all we have to do is grab this thing, move it into a collision course with the surface of Minmus, recover from that collision course, because, I mean, we are playing with the lives of 2 Kerbonauts here. Improvising on this mission. I'm altering the mission. I pray I do not alter it further. There it is, the magnet's doing their thing. Well, it looks like it belongs there, doesn't it? That's pretty good. And hey, look at that. Some of the, one of the solar panels is actually intact. It might not even have been deployed at that time. So yeah, that can actually maintain the batteries as if that mattered. All right, let's do retrograde now. And we just need to get our periapsis to be a slightly negative number. Using nothing but our reaction wheels, or our reaction control thrusters, rather. Payment says, acceleration under time warp is negligence, especially when you have astronauts on board. See, negligence That's closer to the word you were looking for. Let's accelerate under time warp. Actually, no, the numbers turned red, so let's not. Only if the numbers turn green. But they are yellow, so we will not. Okay, yeah, we have a little bit of extra monopropellant too, so yeah, we're gonna be good on this. And the reason the numbers turned red when we went to accelerate under time warp is that we're still in physics simulation range for for that big chunky ship over there. All right, down to a 15-kilometer periapsis. Luli redeeming a boozinate. All right, let's boozinate. We're putting our Kerbernauts' lives at risk on an improvised mission parameter. All right, Luli, this one is for you. Thank you, Luli. Hope you're well. All right, we have 3 kilometer, 2, 1, and there it is. Negative 130 meters. That's good enough. So let's see. We want undock. And get some distance. There we go. And then I see a chat from Luli. We also need to, real quick, get this thing out of a crash course while it has Kerbernauts aboard. And that should do it. There we go. Lily says, hello, hello, gonna catch some Z's, but you guys have fun. No worries, Lily, I know it's late for you, and I appreciate that you so often drop in to say hello on your way off to bed. Okay, let's pick this target again. And let's just brute force this. Okay, I'm just checking to make sure that we are doing okay here. All right, looks like we're going to have a good approach, 53.9 meters. And that looks good from here. And we don't want to crash into that, and I think we're going to be okay. Yep, that is looking good. Not going to impact the space junk. There we go. Wait, no, that is... Oh, right, it changed it because that is what it's calling the... Oh, okay, that's a little frustrating. So this now... That's our target. That right there, okay. That makes more sense. So I was pointing the right direction before. And Raider redeeming a stretch. All right, let's do it. While it does this, let us... Yeah, we have plenty of fuel. Let's do a stretch for Raider. Here we go. Hands on the ceiling, feet are on the floor. Right in front of the moon, and Pete Venkman with the hydrate. All right, we'll do the hydrate as well. And got a new chair, and I'm getting used to how it rolls on the floor. Thank you, Pete Bankman. Smackcat says, cat. But I don't see a cat. Okay, we're raising our periapsis back up. Now we can afford to time warp with Kerbonauts aboard. You only have 72 points? Oh no, you spent them all on cats. Well, here, Smackcat. I'll do this for you. With my infinity points, I redeemed a random cat and I got Crookshanks and Shadow. The originals. Yay! Very nice. All right, we are reducing our separation at approach. $10 kilometers. And Smackcat with the lurk. No worries, Smackcat. Always good to see you here. With your enthusiasm for cats. Okay. We're going to need to adjust this, though. And all the emotes there. Oh, there's a new trick emote. Nice. Very cool. Nutrix, a good streamer. Very chill. All right, which direction will most correct our course? That is tightening it up. 4 kilometers. Three kilometers. And this isn't exactly the efficient way to do it, but it is the quicker way to do it, and we have more than enough fuel to justify doing this the quicker way. All right, 1 kilometer. $686 meters. I'll take that. And we're going to reach there in 7 minutes. So let's do a true time warp here. We're going to have to do some vessel renaming here as well once we arrive. All right, it's loaded up into the physics simulation. We need to start slowing down relative to our target. So let's point retrograde, hold that. And everything is looking good, actually. Especially from this angle. And Smackcat, there you go. You got your 82 points, spent them, immediately got a 3-fer. That is incredibly lucky. GG. That's perfect. Very fitting. Oh, right, it snapped to orbital reference there when I went into time warp. I forgot. All right, here we are coming up on our close approach. Pete Beckman says, if you do a time warp as you slingshot around the sun, will you go back in time? Well, it depends on which way you're slingshotting around it. I mean, that's just basic science. That's like day one stuff in time warp school. Jeez. Do you know anything about time warping? All right, let's turn on the camera here. And let's bring our crew to their destination. They've been out in space for a while now. Not that their quarters or living situation is going to be really any different, because all of the habitation accommodation is on this module that they're bringing with them, so it really makes very little difference for these guys whether or not they're off visiting Minmus or the moon or anywhere else. Your education comes mostly from Star Trek 4. Well, I mean, that's a pretty solid foundation, to be honest. Can't really fault that, really. Really. Can I say really more often in one sentence? I really can't. All right. Lining up. And let's head for this docking port here, far away from this refinery module. And we're lined up. Let's double check our solar panel configuration here. And I like it. That gives the maximum clearance, I believe. Actually, no, I think we want it to be like this, actually. We can always change it. Let's go back to this camera. All right, and this is a particularly important docking. All right, we've got a good alignment. We are on final approach. Should I time warp for this? Probably. I should have time warped. I would like to get out of this camera view, though. And why can I not? All right, let's go back to the Space Center so that we can reset the camera, because it will not let me deactivate the camera with the keyboard, which is odd. Loading up the Space Center. I can hear the birds. Pete Beckman says, you and your reckless time warping with no fear of consequences. Your pilots were so concerned with whether or not they could. They didn't stop to think about whether they should. Time warp. All right. go back. So speaking of Star Trek 4, though, the bit where they thank you, Mr. Malcolm. Yeah. The bit where they explain the concept of slingshotting around the sun to travel backwards in time is one of my favorite bits of exposition in any movie ever. Because the way McCoy is it's like, sure, everyone knows the concept. You warp fast enough around the sun, you're in time warp. It's like, yeah, of course, everybody knows that. It's common knowledge. It's always been that way, right? In Star Trek, yeah. Everyone knows that's how you travel through time. Don't worry about it, audience. Great movie, though. Love it. Okay, so... I do have clearance concerns here. Although, with, yeah, they're not going to be interacting with each other on the same ship, and yet no one has done it. I know, right? If it's so possible and so easy, no one's ever done it since. That's the case with any time warp plot, though. It's the same with the only good Next Generation movie, First Contact. Okay, so if the Borg can travel back in time and assimilate Earth way in the past, why was that their emergency backup plan? Why was that not Plan A? And why didn't they do the time warp way back on their home world and then go to Earth? Because no one would stop them. That's what. Okay, let's do a quick save. Because we're about to do some EVA construction with a ship with a lot of parts, and the way that physics happens with these, the chance of Kraken is very near 100%, I would have to estimate. But yeah, there's Buckaroo Kerman, our pilot. Here is Giga Kerman, our engineer. All right, Giga Kerman, time for your EVA. Actually, hold on. Board, let's just make sure. Where is... it might have already gotten deleted, which is good. I think we already had a collision for the part that we deorbited. Yep, I'm not seeing it anywhere, so I think we have a collision, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, cool. We're good. We can do this. Giga Kerman, go on EVA. And let go. All right. Turn on your rocket jetpack and your helmet light. And here we are about to do something that is almost guaranteed to break the physics engine of this game using the least refined part of the game. We are going to go into IVA construction mode, where physics is not calculated consistently, and the chances that this thing wobbles and shakes itself apart is almost certain. But let's do it. Okay, no wobble so far, but what happens when we remove a part? Am I close enough to remove this part? I assume I can remove this part. Probably shouldn't make such assumptions. If we can't, that is okay. We can use the radiator from here. This is not an EVA constructionable part. Interesting. Okay. Well, that solves one problem, though. That means, one, we have learned something that we couldn't learn without actually doing this, because it's not particularly well documented. And two, our chances of a Kraken are averted, I think. Unless... No? Okay, we're good. No Krakens. Alright. Grab and board. We still want him here as an engineer. Come on. You can get on. Cannot board a full module. Okay, we need to board this one. There we go. because he's going to be running or monitoring the refinery, and it will run a whole lot more efficiently with an engineer aboard. So let's do this now. Extend this radiator, as well as this one, and this one, and this one. All right, so we have our cooling back up to full. It's a little derpy, but we have our cooling back, so our future refining of fuel will go very smoothly. Okay, so now what we want to do is head back to Duna. Not particularly well documented, like space mosquitoes. No. Space mosquitoes are a well-known phenomenon. If you'd encountered one, you'd know. All right, so here, is it a probe? I think it's a probe, yeah. Those are previous ones. Oh, right, we're in a very high orbit. That's what it is. So here we go. Penguin says, Janeway took down a bunch of space mosquitoes, and she did it with time travel and punching. And phasers. Okay, Apoapsis. Oh, this is a very long orbit. So what is our inclination? 179 degrees. So we're in a retrograde orbit. That's very interesting. A phaser rifle, yes, exactly. And she did it without any fear of consequences, none whatsoever. She signed herself up with the second Alien movie, nice. Okay, so, I don't think you've been there for any of my Minecraft Vault Hunters videos, but I made myself a tool with that was highly upgraded for breaking open loot chests very quickly and efficiently. So, of course, what did I call it? The Chest Burster. Speaking of Alien. Alright, we are changing our inclination because I do want to come in at an inclined orbit, give us lots of coverage so that we can choose our landing site. So we have more options to choose from for our landing site, rather, is a better way to put that. And at the same time, we are lowering our periapsis. All right, 100 degrees, that is pretty good. Let's go for a perfect polar orbit. All right, there we go. 89.8 degrees, that's very polar. We've also very much reduced our orbital period. Let's point retrograde and come in low and try to avoid any encounters with Ike, notorious for messing with your Duna arrivals. Yeah, that was Ike doing that right there. But this is looking good. All right, let's double check with the KSpedia Planet Wiki. We want Duna. Let's see, atmospheric height is 50 kilometers. Okay, so we want to We want to brush the atmosphere. Let's take a look at our ship and reacquaint ourselves with it briefly. We're going to want to retract our solar panels and probably our antenna as well for our descent into the atmosphere. That is our heat shield. We do have 2.6 kilometers per second of delta V remaining, and 1.5 of them is with this stage alone, so we can do some serious deceleration when we get down there. So let's get down to where we are just skimming the top of the atmosphere. "100 kilometers. All right. That puts us 2 kilometers above the atmosphere of Duna. 133 meters above the official start of the atmosphere of Duna. And we get down there in 14 days. Let's do it. Let's get down close. Using that time warp. Always trust the time warp. It's time you can't trust. Alright, coming up over Duna's North Pole. I believe that's North Pole. Yeah, that is North Pole. An hour and 30 minutes away from our periapsis. There's the pole. Now, polar highlands. I wonder, is there any science we can do from here? Landing on the poles is actually a very good idea, because we know we have not landed there before. So, let's see, where is science? There it is. Okay, yeah, there is science that we can do here. Let's open this hatch. We can't do that one, but we can do the barometer, log the pressure data. There's probably a few atoms out there, but you can't detect them with a simple barometer. Send that home. That's important. That's good information to have. Let's do a temperature. The gauge on the thermometer sticks, so you give it a few taps. It drops another few degrees. Who tapped it? There's no one here. There's no one here to tap it. The mystery goo. Should we do the mystery goo? I think maybe we should. Let's aim the camera here. How many mystery goos do we have? Is it just the one? We have 2. Okay, yeah, let's do one of them. Observe the mystery goo. The goo takes on a red sheen. It looks very much like the planet below. Send that home. We only get 19 science from that, but that's okay. It's science that we don't have. Pete Bankman with the hydrate. Let's do it. Let's hydrate over the deserts of Duna. There we go. Thank you, Pete. Refreshing. Especially since it's getting so stinking hot here now. Basically the depths of summer at this point. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's close this again. We're gonna save the material study for on the surface. We'll get a ton more data that way. Close. Look at the map. And actually in space low might be an opportunity for more scientifical data. In space low. Okay, here we go. So let's open this bay again. Okay, we have already done this. So it was in space high that we hadn't done before. We did do the in space low with the last mission. Okay, yep, our orbital speed is about 1200 meters per second. Let's get a little bit closer to periapsis, maybe 2 minutes out, and then start burning retrograde. And slow down. There we go. And yep, that's gonna dip us just a bit into the atmosphere, which is just fine. That's an icon counter doing that, but we're gonna fly past that icon counter. There it goes. And this white orbit in here is what will happen after our encounter with the atmosphere. So let's go ahead and aerobrake just a bit. So what we're going to want to do is retract the solar panels to protect them from the atmosphere. And we have all of these antennas as well, so we can afford to retract this antenna. And that's a good view right there. Look at that. What have we got here? That's Kerbal and that's Jewel. All right, we are now dipping into Duna's atmosphere, so we can see the atmospheric drag numbers down here. Dynamic pressure is absolutely tiny. We're not going to get a lot of deceleration from this, but we will get some. And the risk to the craft is very low. We probably were even fine leaving the solar panels and antenna out, but I don't like to take that risk. But yeah, this is dropping our apoapsis a little bit. And when we're over here, we'll let's stop again. Look at this. Actually, we can do multiple passes and get lots of aerobraking, and why not? It's an efficient way to do this. Not that we need the efficiency, but it's something interesting that we haven't really done before in this playthrough, so... Also, I think that there's science we could do from here. Log the pressure data? Yes, okay. The pressure reads gasping for air. You add an addendum about more numbers and less wisecracking. That seems fair. Let's keep that experiment. Let's not transmit at home yet. Log temperature. The temperature rise from the planet's radiation isn't as much as expected. Perhaps the greenhouse effect here is rather weak. Could be because there's hardly any atmosphere. Alright, let's close this. Once we're out of the atmosphere, we will transmit that home. How are we doing on the science anyway? We have 169.4 scientist points. I'm sure that's what they're technically called, scientist points. We're now ascending out of Duna's atmosphere. We've also dropped our apoapsis by about 70 kilometers, so not bad. I don't think we really need to make another pass. As I look at it, we can probably just start burning our engines and then make sure that we come down over the poles. And that'll be plenty, so let's... Dynamic pressure is 7 pascals. That's very low. All right, let's transmit this data home and then do our descent. Let's do this so that I can actually see what I'm doing and you guys can see too. Let's put the experiments that we're actually running into the sunlight. That's much better. There we go. Look at that. We can see. Oh, I should have done that. We can do it on the way down. Let's see. Yeah, review the data. It changes, of course. Turning up the thermostat in your climate-controlled suit does little to keep the cold from creeping into your toes, which makes sense because we're not even here. There's no crew aboard. Review the data. Even the barometer isn't sure how to interpret the readings. Transmit. All right, and we still have plenty of electric charge. Those are small packets of data. So let's close this. Antenna is closed. All right, look at the map here. We want to make sure that we come down over the poles. So here's the South Pole. So this is predicting that if we come around here, then we will enter the atmosphere here and land out there. How about we do it here? And now let's come all the way around and then let's jettison our transfer stage here. So we want to do a time warp to here. That is 1 hour away. And that jump there was, it's calculating things differently as it comes out of different levels of time warp. All right. Oh, look at that. I think I already have a screenshot like this, but still, I don't care. I'm taking another one. Just such a pretty game, even before the mods, but with these mods, it's just extra great. Okay, so let's... Alright, we don't actually have any reaction control thrusters, which is fine. But we want to do this here. And last time we accidentally staged and jettisoned the heat shield early, and it turned out okay. But we're going to try not to make that mistake this time. There goes that stage there. And another very cool screenshot. Look at that. Okay, and while we are in the atmosphere now, I do want to run this spectrovariometer. Atmosphere analysis. Still CO2. Come to think of it, we're actually at the same altitude as everywhere else, just further off the ground, you think. Oh, okay. That's hilarious. All right, keep the experiment. And close. Yeah, it does. It looks just so good. All right, and good. We do have a good signal. And where is our landing prediction? It is a little short of the poles, but that's okay. Should be a new biome. Fingers crossed it's a new biome. Drag is slowly increasing. This is just such a very, very thin atmosphere. Switch to surface mode, why not? Yeah, atmospheric drag is currently 0.5 meters per second squared. How badly does it change our prediction if I go into double time? Looking pretty good, and we're only getting a little bit of yellow there, so we are not missing calculations. This is good. Now moving less than 1 kilometer per second over the surface of Duna. We are passing over the equatorial zone. I guess the tropics, if Duna has tropics. It zooms us so far out. There we go. Camera reference has changed. There's Kerbal way off there. Still got plenty of electric charge. Everything is looking good. Yeah, we haven't even lost anything from the ablator on the heat shield. There's Jewel. But it is giving me red indicators on the parachutes, so we are well outside of parachute threshold, so more slowing down will be needed. And we do have 1.1 kilometers per second of delta V with the landing engine, so we can actually change our velocity plenty. We're now going under 3/4 of a kilometer per second. See a nice canyon right there. Look at that. And then over there, nighttime. All right, we're decelerating a whole lot more now. We've actually ablated slightly. 1 out of 800 units of ablator has been used. I could probably get away with a lot less ablator on this heat shield. Like a whole lot less, but this is fine. I believe this is our landing area right here. Yeah. Okay, and we've got good indicators for our parachutes. All right, I hope lowlands aren't what we've already gotten, because that's where we're landing. Regardless, we've gotten scientific data that we didn't have before. All right, let's go ahead and jettison the heat shield. We have no connection. Why don't we have a connection? Oh no! We cannot control the vehicle. This is the end of the mission. Oh, we're in a communication shadow. Well, I'm glad we got all that science before impacting. Because we now have some debris that we can't really see. There we go. But hey, that actually worked out pretty well, even so. I was hoping for another good landing. We didn't transmit back the atmospheric analysis, unfortunately, because of the atmospheric drag risks on the antenna. But yeah, if we look at the map, yep, look at that. All of our communication was on the other side of the planet. That is unfortunate. Nothing was in range. Boo! Oh well. All right, let's click. There we go, and go to the Space Center, and let's see how we're doing. Most importantly, we got some really good screenshots out of it. I mean, that's what really matters, right? Those should be worth some science. I mean, those are that's photography of the surface of a different planet. Derp? Derp, you say? Excuse me, sir. I don't believe I gave you derpability, derping power. Let's see. We have 232.8 science. Is there anything that... What's the next thing that we actually wanted? These are cool. The big modular girder segment actually would be nice to have. Ion propulsion would be fun. This remote guidance unit is actually a good idea to get. And large probes. Reconnaissance imager. Ooh, that's from the ScanSat mod. Okay, I think these are what we really wanted. Was these here, and possibly some of these engines here. But basically, all the science that we haven't researched yet is optional at this point. All of it's stuff that we want, but all of it is optional. We could get specialized control, but we keep skipping that for good reasons. We need these the least of all. But yeah, that was a textbook derp, says Pete Vegman. Wow, from henceforth, if you look up derp online, there will be a video of what just happened. I see no video evidence. I don't know what you're talking about. That seems made up to me. Okay, well, let's go to the tracking station. And let's look up our mosquito, which should be bursting with ores that it has slurped out of the surface of Minmus. And let's bring it back up to the propulsion module and drop off those ores. We should also take a look at our pork rescue vehicle, the Personnel Orbital Rescue Craft, and see what the fuel situation is there and see if that is in any fit shape to go perform a rescue mission. All right, here we go. Yep, we are full up on ores. Let's stop the drills and retract them. Perfect. And MechJeb Ascent Guidance and Maneuver Planner, we want that too. Come on, there we go. And yeah, let's not worry about the rendezvous part of this because it never does seem to work properly. I hope I'm just using it wrong. I might have to look up some tutorials on how to use that better, but it also might just not work very well. So, but yeah, we want a 56 kilometer orbit. It's actually been raised a little bit. Let's change that to 57 kilometer orbit and engage the autopilot. Let's just go. Performing our gravity turn. We have our target apoapsis, so now we're going to coast to circularization. There's our time warp. Ignition. We have an orbit. And we have nominal orbital insertion. Very cool. Let's close ascent guidance and let's take a look where we are relative to our target. There it is. It is behind us, so we want it to catch up to us. So what we should do is come over here. Point prograde. And we want a bigger orbit so that it takes us longer to get around Minmus, and that will allow this to catch up to us. All right, I'm going to pin that. Coming out of time warp and ignition. Let's pin that one too, since now it's calculating two of them. That's going to be the one that we end up with. And let's learn from past, theoretical situations that may or may not have happened previously on a different stream, and not have too close separation at approach, because then when we tell MechJeb to do the deceleration, we don't risk an impact with our target. Yeah, that would be best, I think. I think that would be wise, just, you know, learning from supposed things that could happen. All right, there's that. Execute next node. Because if such a thing were to ever happen, it would be very, very unfortunate. All right, lining up for our maneuver, which is coming up in 1 hour and 54 minutes. Feedbackman says, all right, you're talking about your collision 2 weeks ago that Shipwreck missed. Well, I mean, if there had been one 2 weeks ago, Shipwreck would have missed it because he wasn't there. But fortunately, I'm just talking about hypotheticals, which means that Shipwreck would miss that too because he doesn't deal with, you know, the hypotheticals. It says the one that we know happened because you thought it was funny that Shipwreck missed it. All suppositions and hearsay. I don't think this is a thing. I think you're making stuff up. Hashtag ban Pete Venkman. All right, loading this into the physics simulation. Yeah, look at this. See, perfectly safe distance. And everything is great. what was that? Did you see that? I have concerns. I have concerns about the Kraken. Alright, make sure we're controlling from here. Activate the camera. And let's go, let's move in closer and hope that nothing weird just happened. Like, really just happened. Pete Venkman saying, it would only be hearsay if someone other than you claimed that you said Shipwreck missed the collision, which is exactly what you're doing. Okay. Yeah, I have concerns. Major ones. About what we just witnessed. Alright, that is... I'm hoping that was just a weird render glitch. That's our target, that docking port. Pigment says, I heard it from you directly, so it is not hearsay. Well, we're hearing it from you indirectly, which is what hearsay is. Alright, I don't want to time warp now, because I'm incredibly nervous. I have some plans to mitigate Kraken attacks as we assemble this thing, because it is going to be large. It's going to have a lot of parts. We're definitely going to continue to abuse the quick save system to prevent consequences of the Kraken, but not to prevent consequences of any potential derps, which fortunately never happen here. Alright. Very careful approach here. I'm so tempted to touch the time warp button. I'm holding my hands away from the keyboard. Big Bangman says you can mitigate Kraken attacks by installing cannons and depth charges. That's true. That's true. That is one way to do it. And there is a mod that actually does that. I could put in BD Armory. That would be fun. We might, when we're done with this playthrough, we might just have some fun with some of those mods. Just because. Why not? Alright. Lining up. And reducing speed. I'm extra nervous this time because of that little spasm that we saw. Everything looks to be okay. I don't see anything misaligned. All the parts that I'm expecting are there. So I think that all that we saw was the game having a brief aneurysm and not being able to decide which orientation it wanted to render the parts in. I don't think it actually moved the parts. That's what I'm hoping anyway. Alright, final approach. Switching to precision control here. We have contact. Come on, magnets, do your thing, do your magnet thing. There we go. Look at that. Okay, so we've got ores to drop off. Pump out, pump out. And I wonder just how efficiently we are processing these into fuel now that we have an engineer aboard. Much faster than before. Look at that. Look at that drop. Which means our delta V is going to be rising. Yep, that number just ticked up. And this is in real time here. Okay, there. Very good. So let's look at here. Thermal efficiency is 100. It's not telling me the utilization number, though. Operational is all it says. But yeah, it's going pretty fast, so that's definitely a good thing. All right, so we've stopped those. Let's refuel. And I believe now it is listed here at the bottom for these. Yep, those are the right tanks, so let's pump in. Pump in. Come on. That UI is a little bit finicky. And the monopropellant, has it reordered these tanks as well? I think it has. It's probably these four. No. So, these four right here. Yes, all right. I thought we had used more than we did, so that was a more efficient approach than it felt like. And we are completely fueled up, so now let's go back down to the surface. Let's also reclassify this as a ship again. There we go. Caps lock. Interplanetary propulsion module. There we go, and accept. And let's push off. Close the fuel balancer, we don't need it. Map mode, actually no, not map mode. We're gonna open the map with the landing GUI. We want ScanSat though. We want to draw our ore overlay and do landing guidance. Pick a target on the map. Make sure we choose one that has ores. And here is our traditional one, the Greater Flats. Right there on the equator. Badoop. All right, and land at target. And this is going to do time warp. I hope that doesn't cause any issues. If we get out of physics simulation range, we should be okay. Two kilometers. Okay, we are out of physics simulation range, so I no longer have worries right now. No immediate worries about a Kraken attack over there, because the Kraken is not aware of it right now. And there's Beat Vegeman with the hydrate. All right, let's do it. Let's actually move so that I'm actually in frame. Thank you, Pete Bankman. And there we go. That was our deceleration burn. And continuing. Lining up the target and our predicted landing site. We're gonna get a nighttime landing. I've been depriving you of your nighttime landings, Pete Venkman. I know how you love them. That's why they keep you around, says Pete Venkman. Yeah. And there it goes, turning off the reaction control system again for no discernible reason. So weird. And while we do this, I need to respond to a very important text real quick. Done. There we go. Pete Beckman says, I love not being able to see what's going on. I don't understand why you love that, but okay, if it's what you like, we'll give you what you want, I guess. Very strange. Oh, we still have one of those tanks highlighted. Let's... Okay, now it's not highlighted, just by opening that dialogue. Okay. Very strange. The farther you get into any playthrough, and the more things you have flying around, and the bigger those things are, as far as number of parts, the more weird things start happening, whether or not you have mods installed. All right, we're coasting to our deceleration. Do I have landing lights on this thing? I just turned on lights, but we do not. That's all right. We are decelerating. I mean, this being completely robot controlled right now, we don't need landing lights. Oh, let's turn the reaction control system back on because MechJeb once again has turned it off. Where we're going, we don't need landing lights. Landing safety is for fools. Landing legs, though, we do need those, so there they go. There you go. Now you can not see what's going on without the GUI in the way. Strap into the crash couches, yeah. All right. Yeah, I can't even see what's going on. For all I know, we're on the surface. No, we're not. Okay. We're in final descent. There we go, firing up the engines for the landing burn. Okay, I can see some ground effects. I don't know if those will be visible on stream or not with the way that Twitch likes to compress things. That should be, though, the illumination. There we go, we're down. You might just have to trust me on that. All right, but we can deploy the drills. And just for kicks, I'm not going to highlight them. We're going to stick with this view and begin drilling. Yeah, there we go. Sparks and flying, gas is being released in pockets. Amazing stuff. All right, let's go somewhere we haven't been in a very long time. Arcadia Station. And this is just for a status check, see what our fuel situation is. This was way too zoomed out, Dan. And let's see. Focus V on the moon so I can zoom in a little farther. And do I have stations filtered out? I do not. Okay, we should be fine there. Just need to get closer, and there we go. Arcadia Station, switch 2. B-Vegman says, this feels like the early Falcon 9 landings where you had to wait for the signal to clear up so you could see if the first stage touched down properly. Yeah. I should just have a static screen that comes up, and you guys don't get to see any crashes or explosions. Just and oh wow, look at this, guys! I had a perfect landing. Look at that. Look, it's down there. It's perfect. Okay, no krakens, no krakens. Okay, we're good. And fuel situation is actually okay because we've got lots of fuel in these tanks. So let's transfer it out. Hi guys, we haven't seen you guys in a while. We got Philip Brewer, we got Issa Kerman, Dan Bear Derp Kerman, it's a rude name, Raider Kerman, Tizon Kerman, Alpin Kerman, we got Bowsy Kerman, Pee-wee Kerman, Munchie Kerman, Eric Uspensky. That's our crew. They've been here a while. It would really add to your credibility. That's a good point. I should do it because that's realistical. All right, let's take fuel out of these. This is Mark III liquid fuel sylages. Pump out. That'll pump it into here. And let's use this ship for its intended purpose, which it hasn't been used for in a very long time, which is crew rescues and transfers. And let's speed up the fuel transfer. Oh, actually, this is empty now, so let's lock that and transfer out of this one now. But also speed it up. There we go. We have refueled this. How about our monopropellant situation is not particularly great. But we could refuel the monopropellant if we need to at the interplanetary ship. So let's aim the camera here so I can zoom in and take a look. Okay, where is our monopropellant supply? It's in here. There it is. Okay, our monopropellant is pretty good. We got about 80%. Not bad at all. So we can now stop transferring out. Close this. This uses our nuclear engines and so only needs liquid fuel. And we've got lots of space, I believe. Yep, empty seats there, empty seats everywhere. But who is aboard? Bowsy is aboard. So Bowsy will probably be our pilot. Pee-wee is aboard. Munchie is aboard. So Munchie and Pee-wee are both engineers. No, Munchie's an engineer, Pee-wee's a crewman. Okay, so Bowsy will be our pilot. Pee-wee will be our co-pilot. And let's go do some rescuing. Undock. And push off. At least this has enough lights that you can see some cool views at night, right? Okay, so what are our current rescue missions? We need to recover Befri Krazos and Befri Krazos' craft. So we're not going to do that one right now. But what we should do Did I just insinuate that engineers are not Kerman? No. What would I have said that insinuated that? I'm not actually sure. We need to, yeah, so what we can save, what's this button do, Kerman? Which is Silvery Sky, redeemed Rescue My Kerbal, and in the text field, typed in, what's this button do? And gave no further clarifications, so I named the Kerbal, what's this button do, Kerman? And they are in orbit of Kerbin. Okay, so yeah, we're not going to refuel the monopropellant at Minmus because we don't need to. Let's go back to ships. What's this button do's derelict? There were 2 engineers and 1 Kerman. Okay, well there's, yeah, Munchie Kerman and Pee-wee Kerman. I didn't insinuate anything. They're both named Kerman. Don't be so ridiculous. Alright, so what we need now is MechJeb again, since that's what we are using now. Since we did so much proving that we can do this manually, we're doing this more realistically now. And we are in a 150 kilometer orbit. Let's do Bioimpulsive transfer to target, create node. And yeah, that should do nicely. All right, execute next node. You're just pointing out what I said. Yeah, you're nitpicking is what you're doing. You're being pedantic. Which, to be fair, I do like a little bit of pedanticalness, which I'm pretty sure is the term for that. Yeah, and this maneuver is only going to cost us 54.5 meters per second out of our available 4.6 kilometers per second. All right, we're pointing in the right direction. And time warp engaged. Do, 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 do. One more orbit and we'll be ready for our burn. Get ready for hard burn. Not that hard. The acceleration on this thing is pretty low. It could get away with landing on the moon, but not if it's fully fueled. And it is mostly just rated for landings on Minmus. In fact, I believe we have landed it on the moon. Not fully fueled, of course. I hear a cat letting me know that he is displeased with the amount of food that he currently has in his bowl. He's going to have to wait. We're doing important space maneuvers here. Alright, we have... Wow, we're going to be coming within 24 meters. That is a little bit close for comfort. So let's just adjust this a little. There we go, 90 meters. I'm much more comfortable with that. And now what we want to do is a match velocities with target maneuver. Create the node. We'll reach, what's this? In 15.5 minutes. So yeah, execute next node, MechJeb, do it. Do the thing. That is my very professional way of giving orders. I say, do the thing. It's got to turn all the way around. There we go, just about pointed in the right direction. I could let it, you know, use the maneuvering jets, but we're pretty tight on our monopropellant at the moment. So I think I'm not going to, because this thing has plenty of reaction wheels. Yeah, these 691 units of monopropellant are all that are available between this and Arcadia Station currently. And there's the capsule right there. All right. Successful maneuver. So let's go here and take a look. How do you end up with just this up here? Man. Yep, a scientist. Very nice. Let's go on... well, first, before we go on EVA, let's rename the vessel so that we can classify it as debris. Accept. And that's something for Kefri Bezos, rather. For Kefri Bezos to take care of. EVA. Let go. Turn on your rocket jetpack and your helmet light. And here is your target right there. Let's get you aboard. We'll, of course, be taking our traditional rescue selfie. What's a rescue without a selfie? What happened to the rest of the ship? Yes, exactly. That's such a good question. What did happen to the rest of the ship? I feel like there's a story here. Was it a design flaw? Did your agency leave you with a flawed ship? Was it a piloting error? Was it an engineering error? Was it sabotage? Were you shot down? EVA still stress me out even in KSP2, says P. Vegman. Well, right now they should stress you out even more in KSP2 because of all the bugs. I think they fixed a lot of the ones that were causing Kerbals to be flung out into deep space on EVA, or to destroy the ships as they stepped out on the ladders. You know, things that happen. Oh my goodness, you are having a great old time, aren't you? She is so happy. There we go. Whoa. Whoa. Did a little flip there. All right. Quit messing around. What's this? Okay, what are you even doing? Excuse me, what are you doing? Be responsible to check. This is okay, I'm in control again. Yeah, there was feedback there, and she was just spinning more and more. What is this, your first EVA? No wonder your ship exploded. You're lucky your cockpit survived. I'm not sure I want you aboard. You seem like a liability. Hey, I hear a fanfare. And that is Supreme Doom with a resub. 11 months. I can't believe I'm coming up on 12. I can't believe I'm coming up on 2 years of streaming. This is all very because it says, yeah, celebrating in both of our streams. That's right. I just resubscribed with a 15-month streak, which makes me way cooler to Supreme Doom. Betty Band the Dan. That's right. I got 2 great clips from your stream today, Supreme Doom. Welcome. We're just about to end, but I'm glad to see you. I am so cool. And so are you. All right, yeah, we just rescued our Redeem from Silvery Sky, which is, since I didn't get any clarification beyond the Redeem with the text, what's this button do? We have, what's this button do, Kerman? or Batondu. It is that time already. Yeah, you were live for a long time. You were on a roll. You were having fun. It's perfect. All right, but yeah, I think that's as good a place as any to end it. I mean, we have technically 7 minutes left, but anything that we have to do is going to take way longer than 7 minutes, so it's a terrible time to start a new project. So yeah, I'm going to bring What's This Button Do Kerman home, and next time, well, I'm going to be doing more refueling of the propulsion module. Our next alarm coming up is the Dres launch window, which I think we're going to skip. So when we come back next week, we're going to be seeing our encounter with Elu and our encounter with Moho. Hopefully a landing on Moho, one that goes better than the one on Duna today, which technically did make contact with the ground, so, you know, I'm calling it a landing. But yeah, thanks everyone. This is great. Serenium says, I'm so used to your later streams, I forget that Saturdays are earlier. Yeah, no worries. Plus differences with the daylight savings and everything, although I think you guys had that too, so yeah. No, sorry Boot, about that. No, this is a boat, a space boat, kind of a space ship, if you will. But he had 2 derps, says Pete Venkman. Lies. You had 2 lies. Yeah, don't listen to Pete. Pete is not trustworthy. Let's find someone to... Just in case. Wow. Libel, slander, lies. I am offended. I am so mad. I'm gonna open Twitch on my browser to get a better list of people that are potential raid targets. Here's the thing, Supreme Doom. There's a very good chance that if you'd gone for 10 more minutes, I'd be raiding you as you're just ending. Let's see. What's Griffin doing? Sky Station. You know what? We haven't raided. We have not raided Griffin in a while, and he's working on space stuff. He loves it when you call it his space station. So let's raid Griffin Prime. Griffin Prime is a good friend. We play Minecraft Bingo with his community every other week after those streams. And Pete Venkman says, thanks, Super Me Doom. I know that's how he typed that, Super Me Doom. No worries, Supreme Doom. So let's see, Griffin Prime playing Minecraft. All right, I'm gonna start the raid, and yeah, we'll be back on Monday with some more Minecraft, probably Vault Hunters. Wednesday with whatever Wednesday, which will probably be Vault Hunters because that's really fun. And then next week we will pick this up. All right, and here's the raid message. Copy the whole thing if you're subscribed. Otherwise, just what's in between where it says Danbury for Totem, and I will see you guys on Monday. Super Medium, I'll never get away from that. It's so fun to hear. I'm glad. I love it. All right, goodbye!